I trust the people, as I do at general elections, that the British people in their votes get good governments again and again, and the governments that they want. And I think the mass decisions of millions of people actually are better at getting the right answers than a few of the elite. So I trust the people against the establishment.
When you said what Cameron was asking for was thin gruel, you were declaring that you will vote out.
Had the Prime Minister gone for a proper renegotiation, I could have been persuaded to vote to stay in. But if we stay in now, we are voting to join a full federal Europe. We are staying on the pathway towards an integrated EU. That is what they are doing across Europe. We are just a little bit behind, but that is the route map. We need to pull out of that and re-establish our own control of our own affairs.
Piers Morgan.
You have the record, of course, for the longest word in Hansard, which records the parliamentary debates in the House of Commons. Go on, can you remember it?
I can
into that camera, and through the barrel of that camera, and say the word.
It's floxinochi nihilopilification. But one of the...
It sounds like a condition, like a terrible skin condition.
It's not too bad. All it means is the actual habit of estimating is worthless. Does the Prime Minister recall the words of his noble predecessor, Baroness Thatcher, who said that advisers advise and ministers decide? Does not a judicious Prime Minister consider things thoughtfully and carefully before making up his mind? And would only a socialist yahoo make up his mind in 23 minutes? Peace time. But if you have an entirely professional political class, they will create laws and interfere in people's lives. And basically, I want people to be able to get on with their lives without the government bossing them about. I'm all in favour of nannies, but not the nanny state.
Jacob?
I think the lady's absolutely right that we have to trust democracy. I'd say two other things. First of all, I think we overstate the special relationship, and that we think that we have a very strong relationship with the US, and the US doesn't lose a lot of sleep over what the United Kingdom thinks, and I think we should be cautious about that. The second is that I think we have a tendency to think all American presidents are deeply stupid. We thought that of Ronald Reagan, we thought that of George Bush Jr.
Obama?
We don't think that of Obama, but we thought of Bill Clinton, that he had certain problems in the fidelity area.
It doesn't make him stupid.
It doesn't make him stupid, but we like to look down on American presidents because of the way they appeal to their electorates. And they appeal to their electorates in ways that are too populist for the British political system, and we don't like, and they say things which go down very badly here. But if you want to give a great boost to Mr. Trump's campaign, ban him from coming to the UK, because it would run so badly in the US. They would think the UK had no business banning an American presidential candidate. It would boost his support. It would mean that somebody who we think it will be difficult to deal with, who was friends of Mr. Morgan and Mr. Putin, so he keeps very fine company.
That is a low blow, Rees Mogg.
I meant it in a friendly way.
Are you likening me to the Russian dictator?
Well, you're a very powerful figure.
Personalised.
I admire the courage of pacifists. I admire the courage of people who were conscientious objectors in the First World War, and it goes against the grain of the nation as a whole. But if that's what you profoundly believe, actually it's a very brave thing to put forward. So I admire Jeremy Corbyn for doing that. I'm afraid it also makes him unfit to be Prime Minister, because there is always the risk that a Prime Minister may have to go to war. And you cannot have a Prime Minister who will not go to war. And finally, as time is short, Mr. Deputy Speaker wants me to wind up, the financial transactions tax. This is the work of the devil. It must be opposed. We have a lot of wishy-washy stuff about how if we get global agreement, well, thank God for Lee Kuan Yew, because I think we can be confident that the good people of Singapore will say no to this awful nonsense. A financial transaction tax is not taxing invisible, non-existent people. It would fall on the citizens and subjects of the United Kingdom. We must oppose it. We must be robust in opposing it, and we must not let the European Union get their grubby little hands on it. Yeah. And the fourth point he made that I thought, of course I'll give way.
Very grateful for the honourable member, and we always enjoy his speeches. But would the honourable member clear up one piece of confusion about the proposed three-way referendum? Will it be, Mr. Deputy Speaker, by the alternative vote system, or will it be by first past the post? Because the motion isn't entirely clear.
I'm grateful to the honourable member giving me an extra minute. It's a kind of Gloucestershire to give something to Somerset for once. We cannot solve our financial crisis until we have freed ourselves from the yoke of European regulation. We see even this weekend that Tesco's are going to take on fewer part-time people because of a directive from Brussels. Are we really going to deny our citizens growth because Brussels wants to put a further yoke on them? And of course I'll give way.
Is the honourable gentleman aware that one of Tesco's most profitable parts is the part of Eastern Europe that is in the European Union?
Well, I'm glad to say that Tesco's, great company that it is also very popular in Thailand, whose application for the European Union I was currently unaware of. However, this may not please everybody. I used to live not a million miles from Slough with the aeroplanes going over, and I must confess they didn't prove too bothersome then.
Eton, was that?
That's absolutely right. I was at school with your son.
Fantastic.
But I think it's crucially important economically.
That was a brilliant thing. That's the best thing I've seen him take in a long time.
Let's get back to the importance, I think, of Heathrow rather than my and Henry Dimbleby's education.